The question of the night is, who can stop the Great Ape Jayrilla? That question might even be answered here tonight as we're reviewing IPW New Zealand's Necessary Evil 2025. You have landed on Ring Respect Radio, so boom, just like that, it's Thursday night. We invite you to party with us. We're the Video Bros. My name is Bobby Munson. The man sat beside me. He's the man with the angelic voice. He's Papa Smokes. Papa Smokes, happy Thursday. How you doing, brother?
Woo, happy Thursday to you, Munson, and to all the wrestling people out there, to the PPW Nation, and to the Ring Respect Radio listeners and fans. Having a great night. Glad to be here on a Thursday as usual. Glad to be here with you, Bobby Munson, talking about some professional wrestling.
Always happy to be here with you, Papa Smokes. We love doing the show, and we love doing it for the people, like you said, like Zach Minger here in the chat. Happy Thursday to you, Zach. Thank you for being here with us. And, of course, our boy, it's Bassman Basser is in the chat. Happy Thursday to you, Basser. Thank you for being here and supporting, as always. And, of course, every Thursday night in support, it's the Mangler saying happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you, Mangler. Happy to have you here, as always, on Ring Respect Radio. And of course, we're going to be talking all things indie wrestling here tonight, especially about our friends over across in New Zealand. Lots to talk about and unfold there. But before we do, we also got to say hello to Melball Collins in the chat. Melball's here with us. Thank you for being here, Melball. Happy to see you here on a Thursday night. But before we do, Papa Smokes, I mean, we just wouldn't be kicking off the show right if we didn't talk about the indie wrestling that we're a part of, that we know and we love, because guess what, Papa Smokes? It's time to take me out to the ball game this Saturday as PPW is doing the Summer Slam Jam with the Saskatoon Berries in conjunction this coming Saturday afternoon. So you can get your ticket to the Berries game, get inside the gates early, and be able to watch some PPW action live for the Berries. I am over the moon, Papa Smokes. Love working with this organization, along with our friends over at the Rush as well, too. It seems to be that this is going to be a more permanent spot moving forward for the time being anyway, and I am so excited for a second round of Berries action.
Batter up, Munson, because we are ready to go with some summertime baseball action. You know, that's always been one of my favorite things, Munson, is, you know, I'm not a huge baseball fan. I don't watch it on TV. I don't follow the major leagues so much. But having said that, one of my favorite things to do in the summertime is to go out to see your local team play. And we got a high level of baseball here, but baseball games are very fun to go to. Pro baseball games in the summertime, under July and August blue skies. You can sit outside, get a foot-long hot dog, get a couple of beers, get some peanuts, and watch the action. But what makes it all better? Having some pro wrestling action. Again, your hometown indie company that's grinding the gears, doing the reps, putting the time in, and getting a shot to get in front of the eyeballs of some sports fans in Saskatoon. Already did the Rush show. Going to do the Berries game this Saturday. I can't wait. I got my ticket already, Munson. I'm going to sit in the stands and watch this because it's going to be my pleasure to see some professional wrestling action outdoors at the baseball game. Woo!
That's right. And you can get your tickets online, I believe, at Ticketmaster, if I'm not mistaken, for the Berries game this coming Saturday afternoon. And you know what, Papa Smokes? The Berries are a great team, but they need our help. They really need our help. They've had a couple of losses come up on them this week, so they need some momentum, and nobody gives momentum like the PPW Nation. And I'm telling you, Nation, we need your help. We need you there this Saturday, not only to root on the great professionals that are going to be inside the professional wrestling ring for Prairie Pro Wrestling, but we need you to root on your Saskatoon Berries and get them back to some winning ways, and we know you can do that. Baxter says, Bass Jr. and I haven't missed too many Berries games this year, and we will see you this Saturday. All right. Perfect, Bass. Happy to hear that, man. Glad to see that you and Bass Jr. are going to be out at the show this Saturday. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, if I saw online properly, and from what I understand, is the gates are opening early, about 4 o'clock or something like that, Papa Smokes, and I believe that PPW is scheduled to go on about 4:30. We're going to probably do about 45 minutes to an hour show. You know, last year we had that that battle royal where all of a sudden Barry the Bear showed up and he ended up dumping Morris Waltz. In fact, they've got that picture all over the Barry's pages today with Morris Waltz being dumped over the top ropes there by Barry the Bear, and Barry the Bear celebrating his big battle royal victory last year. So you never know what to expect this year from PPW and the Saskatoon Berries. Happy to be back. Happy to be doing it. And if that's not enough PPW for you this summer, Papa Smokes, you can also catch us back at the Cosmos Senior Center Saturday, August the 29th. Stay tuned to the Prairie Pro Wrestling socials to find out more about that show announcement and ticket sales as well, too. And we got Ed up in the house. Woohoo! Thursday, ring respect. Thank you, Ed. We're happy to have you here. Not sharing the time slot with you there tonight. Marvel Talk. We'll be back for some more Thursdays coming up very soon. Lots of Marvel stuff coming out. Looking forward to seeing Ed and the entire crew over at Marvel Talk bring in some more great Marvel conversations here to the channel, especially leading up to your Thursday nights. Thursday night double headers. That's what a lot of fun. You gotta like double headers on a Thursday night, and no better way to celebrate it than talking Marvel, talking wrestling. You know, especially with a couple of old wrestling guys like us, Pop Smokes. And let's talk about some of that wrestling. Let's talk about our friends in New Zealand, because we love New Zealand. We really do. We enjoy watching their shows. I know that some of the crew actually out in New Zealand sent me another. They gave a follow with another company out there that I got to start looking into. Not sure if events are available from them or not, but going to do my research. A lot of the people we know very well from the New Zealand area work that company as well too. So I'm very curious to find more New Zealand wrestling. But this one in particular is our friends over at Impact Pro Wrestling New Zealand, IPW. And this one was Necessary Evil 2025. You can find this on their YouTube channel. They actually released all of the 2025 releases earlier this year, other than Nightmare Before Christmas. So aside from, there's one other show that we haven't watched yet, Papa Smokes, and then we will be caught up before, you know, the crew over there gets around to dropping all of the 2026 material. And that, man, some stuff has happened. And even on this show, some stuff happened. This was interesting, but I'm going to let you take the reins, lead us into Necessary Evil.
For sure. This show, Necessary Evil 2025, took place November 1st, 2025 in Auckland, New Zealand. So we're back in the city of sails, named so for all the harbors they have there and all the shipfaring activity. We're back on the North Island of New Zealand, the Big Island, and the big city just across the ditch from Australia. And the venue here is called Freeman's Bay Community Center, capacity of 310. So we're looking at something basically roughly the same size as what we run for Prairie Pro Wrestling. Not massive, but just the right size to get a few hundred fans in there, jam-pack them in there, and get a really, really great environment and great situation for the fans to get nuts and to yell, which they did during this show. Quite a good show from IPW.
Very much so. And a quick shout out to our good friend Blair from the Great Maker Wrestling Podcast, and also one of the voices you hear on Winnipeg Pro Wrestling. Howdy to you, sir. Thank you for the support. And go check out the Great Maker Wrestling Podcast by following over. Just click Blair's name there over on the YouTube. It'll take you right to it. You can go subscribe. You can check out some great interviews. I promise you, you will have a very entertaining time. But watch us first, then head on over there afterwards, and we promise you'll have the best time of your life that way. But yes, before we get into the first matchup, Papa Smokes, because we've made quite the impact there with our friends in New Zealand. We get a lot of people from the New Zealand area that tend to write us messages on some of these reviews, and we're hoping to see that happen again here tonight once they get the opportunity to see it. Because keep in mind, everybody, New Zealand quite a bit ahead. It is actually Friday afternoon there in New Zealand right now. So everybody's probably getting out to the gym, pumping the iron, getting ready for the weekend shows. But big shout out this time I want to give to both referee Anna Wood and Ref Conan for leaving comments on our last review for Impact Pro Wrestling. Both of them also cleared up some interesting things that were mentioned between the two of us in regards to some of the matchups, and were able to give us some nice insight. So they do a fantastic job there. We'll see more fantastic work from them here as well, too. Shout out to the both of you, and thank you for supporting the show. Blair saying, you guys are great. Hey, so are you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. You're fantastic. Appreciate you, my man. Love the support as well, too. But let's get into this thing, Papas, folks. Let's talk about the matchups that were on this particular card, starting with the current Warner Cup holder opening up the show. It's Horus, not Horus. It's Horus coming out to the ring to take on one member of the I'm getting the names mixed up here, Pops. Yes, thank you. The Sigma Collective. Joseph Cruz, the reluctant member, I guess we should say, of the Sigma Collective here. But yes, he's got Perfect Peter Prince and he's got Jack Maximum alleged kind of rooting him on. I don't know if we definitely know that they're in full support of this young man, but he is out there putting in the work, putting in the miles, and representing this group. This was a great way to open the show as well, too, because we know that there is a lot of development that is happening within this group. We know that Joseph Cruz has been able to be given something as a new member of the roster here to work with, which I think has helped to elevate him as opposed to just sending him out for having one-on-one matchups and having him go into these losing situations. This has allowed him to have his personality shine a little bit more. It's given him, some in the terms of Perfect Peter Prince, somebody a little bit more experienced as well too to work alongside with and everything. So a lot of the things that would have been, a little bit green for somebody coming into this kind of situation are definitely covered with working with experienced people and working within the aspects of a group as well too. So I think that's been a great choice for Joseph Cruz. Nice thing is this is one of the best I think I've seen him work. And that's because now, again, he's working with Horus, who is a great seasoned professional inside that wrestling ring. So throughout this match, Horus works very well with Joseph Cruz, but Joseph Cruz gets a lot of good stuff in throughout this one. It's actually a great back and forth. In the end, of course, Horus getting submission locked in, and Jack Maximum actually throws the towel in, which I didn't see coming, but I thought that was an interesting twist to the ending on this one. I like this. This is a great way to warm this card up, and I like the guys involved here as well, too. And very entertained.
Sure, and this feels a little bit more like a preliminary match as the first match. I mean, this is a mismatch. The Horus. I'm still going with that, Munson. I like that pronunciation better. If Selena De La Renta tells me that's right, I'm using that one. But at any rate, Horus is a much more experienced and much physically superior competitor than Joseph Cruz. So we kind of know what's going to happen in this match, but it's all about the Sigma Collective of how cohesive are they going to be throughout this match. And we've seen that it's kind of an unlikely grouping that Cruz has ended up in. He's kind of the odd man out in this collective. You can see that Prince and Maximum aren't so sure if they want Cruz in this faction, and Cruz not so sure if he wants to be in it. He's had a very rough start to things. Can't seem to get it going. Can't get a W to save his life. And he wasn't going to get one tonight either. But it seems kind of weird that the Sigma Collective members throw the towel in order to save Cruz from this grapevine leg lock submission hold. So it kind of begs the question, do they care about Cruz a little bit more than we realize? Do they have plans for him in the future? Do they see potential in him? And are they trying to keep him healthy for some purpose down the line? We don't know. But at any rate, the Warner Cup holder, Horus, coming out victorious in this. Joseph Cruz still on a tough road here. He can't seem to buy a win, no matter how much he wants one. But we're going to see what happens in the future. Is Cruz going to be a successful member of the Sigma Collective, or are they going to throw him to the dogs at some point in the future?
It's tough to say for sure, but going back to that Warner Cup, for anybody who is not tuned in previously on one of these shows or watched IPW, just so you know, the Warner Cup is it is a cup. It is literally a cup, and whoever is the holder of it come the time of the eliminator gets a title shot against whoever the champion is at that time. So usually being the first one to hold it for the year, which Horus is a long road to get to the eliminator. The difference maker is Horus being a former champion, someone who knows how to get the job done, knows what it takes in order to get that distance and be able to get the championship opportunity. I can see him going all that way. He's got a major target on his back, mind you, and everything. And at the end of it, he might have to go up against some of the likes of the Great Ape, which he's never done before too. We'll talk more on the Great Ape coming up in our main event. But yeah, good way to start the show. Moving on from there, we got our next matchup. It's tag team action, Boppus folks. And here we go again. Matty Short, always making us chuckle to some degree. Matty Short, along with Izzy Kiloch, taking on the team of SAS. Yes, Alex Savage and Will Stone, who we know went through hell and back again against New Blood at Fans Bring the Weapons. What a hellacious battle that was. But here we go. Alex Savage and the man with the most punchable face in professional wrestling, Will Stone, getting in here. And relatively, again, like you said with the first match, Papa Smokes, there's nothing, I think, that there's no belief that we were ever going to see Matty Short and Izzy Kiloch take off here and get a victory over SAS in this situation. I think that would have been a strange direction to go that way. But again, at the same time, both Matty Short and Kiloch are very serviceable in the ring, do a great job to mix it up with the team of Savage and Will Stone. Solid tag match to go on second in this one. SAS successful and get another pinfall victory, really solidifying themselves as the top dogs in the tag team division.
Very much so. And SAS looked the part as well. You know how important presentation is in professional wrestling, the entrance and everything. Just think SAS are such a professional tag team in IPW. I love the way Alex Savage comes out with smoking the cigar with the sideburns and everything. He looks like a comic book character. Will Stone is intensely annoying as a heel as well. And then on the other side, you've got Matty Short, who's kind of a comedy relief spot on the show, but perfectly good worker in the ring. Izzy Kiloch looking very new to the game, looking like a greener wrestler in this whole thing, but up for a challenge. And we want to see what he's made of as well. He had some good moments in this match as well. This was a non-title match. The belt's not up for a dispute. I like the fans, as we just said, they're packed in here in a 300-person building. The fans start to yell, "Such a wanker," at SAS, and then start a chant for Will Stone, "Willie Wanker, Willie Wanker." Just having a good chuckle at that. I love it when the fans get together and have a good time with this, heckling the heels like they deserve to be heckled. Another thing I like about SAS is what effective of heels they are. And as a heel tag team, they cheat. They break their rules all the time. SAS were cheating so much in this match that the commentators were even saying it's pointless to call this match because they're cheating so much that the referee has no control over this match. What are we supposed to say about this? SAS just bending the rules so tremendously much. There could have been 10 disqualifications in the first 5 minutes of this match. Yeah, they take it to Izzy in this match. No surprise there. He's tall, he's thin, and they lay it to this guy. Whew, I can't imagine how he was feeling after this match. And then they give it to Matty Short as well. Short finally gets a hot tag and Short gets the hot tag, comes in, does his various booty dancing spots in the match, gets some good offense in, but tags back to Izzy. Bad move. Tagging back into Izzy. Izzy comes off the top rope, gets caught by a sick kick by Stone, and 1, 2, 3, that's the pinfall. This was a 10 or 11-minute match. Nothing fancy. No false finishes, anything like that. The champions go over in a non-title match. So this, to me, is kind of like an exhibition match. They're trying to show some new babyface talent here, but really, this was all about SAS showing their dominance, frustrating the fans, and kind of just begging that question again a little bit. What's next for SAS? Who are they going to take on for the tag team titles when they're actually defended?
Maybe we'll get a little bit of that answered later in the show, as there will be more tag team action on this card. Up next, the IPW New Zealand Women's Championship on the line. The new champion, Mighty Maia, in her first title defense, taking on Candy Lee. Again, we've seen these two battle it out last time for the belt. This time with the belt on the line in the defense from Mighty Maia. Of course, Mighty Maia is completely over with this crowd. The second the music hits, the second she makes that entrance, those fans absolutely love her. And what's not to love? She's tough. She's got great skill inside the ring. She's super fun to watch, and she goes out there and puts on the fight of her life every single night. No difference here, going up against the former champion Candy Lee, looking to, add to her title runs. I believe that they said she's a former 3-time New Zealand Women's Champion. Would love to add a fourth one to her notches on her belt, but unfortunately, coming up short here, Mighty Maia ended up taking the victory and taking it quite well there when won with the rear naked choke and a tap out. But that wasn't really the true story in this matchup. After all, the match, Amber Saint, of all people, comes down. Was supposed to be the special timekeeper, we were told, throughout the night. But Amber Saint coming down with the title belt, and instead of handing it to Mighty Maia, the champion, she hands it straight to the face of Mighty Maia and making it very clear that Amber Saint is looking for an opportunity to fight Mighty Maia for the IPW New Zealand Women's Championship. Good, solid match, and I'm even more intrigued by the thought of Mighty Maia versus Amber Saint coming up down the line. And is Papa Smokes paused? Oh, no, he's there. You back with me, Papa Smokes? We having technical difficulty? We may not be here. Someone in the chat know if anyone can hear me. Okay. It's everything working on your side, Papa Smokes? No, we lost him. We've lost him. All right, maybe he's rebooting. Anyway, sorry. We'll get back into that in just a moment here when Papa Smokes returns. Again, we thank you, Melball. I appreciate it. You can hear me. So yeah, could be some troubles. We're also on the verge of a bit of a storm here in good old Saskatoon. So sometimes the internet gets a little wonky. We had a crazy storm here last night. We're looking to have another one here this evening. It just happens. But we've got the return coming up right here. Papa Smokes is back with us. You good to go now, Papa Smokes?
Yeah, I sure hope so. I knew that there was a huge thunderstorm here last night, and I thought, what's this going to do to our internet and everything else? My power was off all day. But anyway, I'm back here. Yeah, we're still talking about the ladies' match here because...
Yeah, I talked about the finish and then the aftermath, obviously, with Amber Saint doing the run-in and saying that I'm very intrigued by the idea of Amber Saint versus Mighty Maia in a title match coming up.
For sure, and I liked this match. It only got about 5 minutes on this card, which is a pretty short match, but the ladies got it done no problem. I really like Mighty Maia as the champion. She's deserving of the belt. She's got that MMA background, so she looks like a legit fighter for sure. I also like Candy Lee a bunch. She's got great presentation. She looks good. She's big and strong, and she's former 3-time champion, as they mentioned several times. Candy Lee has a huge hip attack, which is quite effective, but Maia hits the big spear and the rear naked choke, and then is attacked, sneak attacked really by the ring girl, Amber Saint, who's obviously forcefully putting herself back in the ladies' championship picture. And this now puts the crosshairs on Mighty Maia, knowing that Amber Saint, who's been buzzing around the championship here in this company several times before, she wants a match against Mighty Maia. So when will we see that?
Yeah, hopefully coming up soon. Might even be when they do the Nightmare Before Christmas. That could have possibly been on that card. Again, we're waiting for the next drop of videos to come out on the IPW New Zealand channel so that we can find out more about what has gone down. Again, if anybody really really is impatient and wants to go find out, you can always go check them out on social media. All the results and all the information is there from all the cards that have happened. But save yourself the trouble. Wait for it to come out on YouTube and support these guys. Up next, we have got a 3 versus 3 matchup. They are calling the one side team IPW and the other side call themselves Con Capital. That team, Con Capital, consisting of Ringo Ryan, Troy Daniels, and Max Cillian, taking on the team of Raven, Jackson Graves, and a man who just followed the Video Bros on Instagram just this week, Mr. Toothless Nico Bell. Hello, Toothless. Thank you for following us over on Instagram. We appreciate the follow, my friend. Again, very interesting here. A lot of people that they want to start getting over. Raven is red hot with this audience, always getting a huge pop coming out here, almost leading the team out to the ring of Jackson Graves and Toothless Nico Bell. Con Capital, of course, that team that everybody just loathes. All the factions in IPW are just downright evil, and everybody is trying to fight against them. And it seems like that's the idea here, is now we're getting some of the baby faces banding together and saying enough is enough. We don't need to deal with the Con Capitals anymore. We need to take them out, and coming out here for a fight, and a fight they did. There's a lot of great stuff that happened in this match. A little bit busy at times because, of course, it's a lot of bodies and tends to be hard to follow, but they simplified it, made it work, made it right, and of course, giving people what they wanted right here was a victory for the good guys. Raven actually getting the victory, so they pick up the win for their team, and of course, again, pushing Raven up the ladder because they're sensing that Raven is red hot with the company, and strike while the iron's hot. Raven is good in the ring, has a great look, and is going places with this audience, so why not push Raven at this point in time?
Oh, for sure. And this was a 6-man tag kind of early in this card. I like the placement of it. It's not for any championships or anything like that, but what you said, it's kind of working out the hierarchy in this company of where some of these wrestlers are going to be, and if Con Capital can be stopped at all. So we were going to have Raven, Nico Bell, and Michael Richards. Of course, Bell and Richards being the king and cross-check. They're already a tag team. Well, Michael Richards not appearing in this match, replaced by Jackson Graves. Now, this would be kind of a very important part of this match because Jackson Graves not nearly the competitor that Michael Richards is. Not throwing any shade at him, but he was clearly the weak link on this team. And Con Capital knew that. So the heels started this match, jump-started it, quickly took over, and isolated Jackson Graves. They're going to get the young guy. They're going to get the inexperienced guy, isolate him in their corner, double and triple team the hell out of him, and try and get that win. Now, Ringo Ryan was one of the main wrestlers for Con Capital. He's good, isn't he, Munson? He's a former champion in this company. He's really good. And he impressed me in this match. But eventually, Graves gets the hot tag to Toothless Nico Bell, a big favorite of mine, and I suspect yours in this company as well. Yeah. Nico Bell, really, really good. Love what he's got going on character-wise and presentation-wise. And his ring work is awesome. He cleans house on the heels big time. Ringo Ryan ends up getting his arms trapped in the ropes like Andre the Giant used to. Now he's taken out of the equation, so the strong link for Con Capital neutralized here. Raven tags in, hits a huge TKO, pinfall on Maximilian, and the baby faces go over in this match. Not super long. They didn't prolong this for a 6-man tag team match, but they got the job done. So Con Capital forced to regroup a little bit. They're going to be pissed off about this loss, but the babyface is looking great in this. The kind of ragtag combination of Raven, Nico Bell, and Jackson Graves going over here, much to the fans' delight. So what do we get out of this? Con Capital is going to be back to avenge this loss.
Oh, 100%. They're not going to take this lying down at all. So wait to see what happens at the next card. But after this, we get away from the wrestling for a little bit, Papa Spokes. And this is one nice thing I like to see that IPW especially does quite often is to induct wrestlers or personnel into their personal Hall of Fame. And of course, this night it was Vinny Dunn being inducted to the Hall of Fame. I love how they've got all this extra video footage that they've had from over the years that they can play, showing the run of it he done, what he did when he first came in, how much he has meant to IPW, how much he's meant to New Zealand pro wrestling. I find these very interesting. I'm not sure if everybody likes to sit through these kinds of things, but I always really appreciate when a company will do this for someone who has been there for them, has wrestled for them, has put their bodies on the line for them. It's their own personal Hall of Fame, but it means something to them and it means something to those wrestlers. And it meant something to Vinny Dunn. And I really enjoyed this induction. I really enjoyed watching it. And congratulations to Vinny Dunn as well, too, for your entire career and for the induction.
Yeah, and I think these Hall of Fame inductions, doing them at the live show in front of the crowd like this, it's important and it means something. And I think the fans get that as well. We've watched one or two of these before on previous shows. Some of them have been very long, and some of the speeches were a little bit on the long-winded side, and they had numerous people speak. And there was one of these that went 25 minutes at least. This one, they kept it a little shorter. I think we all appreciated that. 3 guys came out and spoke, including our friend Jake Shehaan, who's a very personable and well-spoken guy. They each got 2 minutes to talk about their friend and, in some cases, partner and mentor, Vinny Dunn, a guy that's contributed so much to New Zealand wrestling over the years, a very important wrestler in the modern history of New Zealand wrestling. So very, very cool to listen to these guys speak. One of the highlights for me was the former wrestler Kingy saying what such an excellent quote. What can we say about Vinny Dunn that he hasn't already said about himself? That was just awesome. Just bringing some lightheartedness to the character of Vinny Dunn, who of course had lots of great stuff to say about himself over the years. A little bit of lightheartedness, but very good. Some very heartfelt things said about Vinny Dunn, and then Vinny Dunn with a very nice speech out to his inductees and then out to the fans in Auckland as well, who have, I want to say, supported him over the years. He's been a heel for much of that, but I mean, the fans that came, spent their money, cheered and jeered throughout the whole thing, were great fans to him throughout the whole time, and then Vinny Dunn just finally getting that recognition, which we've been seeing since you and I have been covering IPW. He's been getting that reverence because everyone feeling like he was towards the end of his career. So what a great induction evening it is. Some good feelings. And then for some of the current wrestlers that have performed very well over the years, they can maybe look forward to getting a nice, respectful induction into the New Zealand or the IPW Wrestling Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Vinny Dunn, and great job by the guys inducting him as well.
Excellent. Yeah, very well done. Well, if that was the nice touching moment on the card so far, Papa Spokes, what came up next wouldn't touch the hearts of it, people necessarily, but our good friend, the Divine Light, James Shaw, and along in his corner with Bishop Shaw in his corner, all decked out, going to be taking on a Liam Fury. And of course, Liam Fury, we know very well liked professional wrestler in the New Zealand area, has worked for quite a long time. He's also a trainer for a lot of the wrestlers that you see out there today. And he has been doing some great work since coming back and hitting the ring. Now hitting the ring with the Divine Light, James Shaw. And of course, this was probably one of my favorite things of the entire night, this matchup. And it just goes without saying, when you know a person, you tend to root for them more. But James was so on point here, and so was Liam Fury. These guys are very skilled, very professional, and awesome at what they do. I can never stop laughing at Bishop Shaw on the outside of the ring and everything he does outside there.
Awesome.
He is just excellent. Papa Shaw is just one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite cornermen in professional wrestling today. I really enjoyed this match, Papa Smokes. I arguably want probably the best thing on the card. Definitely right up there for sure.
Yeah, I got to agree with you there. They got 10 minutes and they made the best of it here too. And I'm sure being top wrestlers, both of these guys in New Zealand, they've probably wrestled each other many times, and they really, really put on a good match here. Shaw, always excellent. You know, he's so good and he's improved a lot even since we've been watching him, right? Like, you can see that he's putting the work in. His physique looks awesome. He's getting stronger, and his wrestling and his whole air of persona around him is just really quite excellent. And then Liam Fury, everything's been said about this guy, the flyweight champion, not a huge man, but he gets by on intensity and speed and skill. So that's kind of how this match started. There's a huge weight and strength differential in this, but Fury starts fast, using that skill, using that speed. And then what a weird and interesting little narrative was going on in this match. Early in the match, Liam Fury goes for his finisher, his famous and beautifully done shooting star press, but he gets to the top rope, and unlike Fury, he slips on the top rope. Now, we all get it. These things happen, but it looked weird when Fury did it. Munson, you have a point to make here?
Well, did you not see James Shaw was praying, Papa Smokes, during this time? He was praying. So all of a sudden it was like as if his prayers were answered, and Liam Fury botched a move that Liam Fury would never botch in his life. So is there some sort of power, greater power that James Shaw manages to tap into? And if he could do it here, what's stopping him doing it when he gets the title shot at the next card?
Absolutely. And Shaw actually calling divine intervention into this match. Really an interesting spot. And the commentators sold this beautifully as well, because they seemed genuinely quite surprised by it. But when you saw that Shaw had the hands clasped and he was praying to the divine golden light overhead in heaven and having that answered, it was just a really neat spot in the match, because it just goes to show you, like, everybody thinks Shaw is a con man and he's a phony and he's a liar and a cheat. But wow, this kind of led some actual legitimacy to his position as the head of the Church of Divine Destiny. So very, very interesting. Fury now from this point seems to have lost his mojo in this match, and he's wrestling from underneath. He's a good enough wrestler to get a few hope spots throughout this, and Shaw seemed to have a sore elbow from near the beginning of this match. So Fury trying to work on that elbow with various arm bars, including a nice Fujiwara arm bar, but Shaw staying in the match. Then finally Fury gets the opportunity to hit that shooting star press, but Shaw had been luring him in, and he moves out of the way, and Fury misses. And they don't call them high-risk maneuvers for nothing. Fury hurts himself fairly significantly, missing that shooting star press, and Shaw lures him first into the modified camel clutch that he uses, then hits a Death Valley driver on the apron. Ooh, that looked like a painful spot. Do not envy Liam Fury taking that one. Shaw, driven by the divine light, now hits the crucifix power bomb. Nice stacked press there, and 1, 2, 3, a pinfall. 10 minutes, this thing is over. And my God, no coincidence there. My God, James Shaw looking great. The Church of Divine Destiny looking great. And even though he's already the #1 contender in IPW, he stacks another win onto his resume here. James Shaw looking very tough coming into the upcoming cards here. And Jayrilla going to have to be looking over his shoulder, because James Shaw, not only a physical powerhouse and an experienced powerhouse to deal with, but might he have some power from above working on his side too? Maybe Shaw's unbeatable at this point. We don't know, but very interesting match. Very good and strong looking win for James Shaw in this one.
Very much so, yeah, and he needed to going into the next card because he will face the champion, whoever that may be. We'll talk about it very shortly. Our next matchup on this one, though, is tag team action. It is the team of Wild Hunt, Connor King, and Jordan Macallan taking on the Sigma Collective, Perfect Peter Prince, and Jacked Maximum. And I thought, awesome, we're getting more tag teams put together, which they definitely need to do. We've seen a lot of the whole new blood versus SAS stuff. SAS are going to need new opponents to be able to defend the belts again. So we got Wild Hunt in here looking pretty decent. We know that Jack Maximum and Perfect Peter Prince have been looking fantastic as a group together. I think the Sigma Collective have come together quite nicely. And oh, look at this. We just start talking his praises, and look who's here. It's Divine Light Gaming himself, James Shaw in the house. Yes, go. Yeah. You know what? Go click on James's name right there. Go follow the Divine Light Gaming. Does gaming content all the time. Fantastic work there as well. Go support him and get out to local shows and boo him because he's a nasty, nasty, evil man at the shows. But James Seeker, we think the world of you, brother.
Now, Munson, our prayers have been answered. The leader of the Divine Light is here.
True. I mean, that's just going to boost ratings here on the show. You know that, Pop Smoke.
Yes. Oh, yeah. even God's watching tonight.
Yeah. Hopefully, we're doing fantastic, man. I hope you are as well, too. I know you were posting all the pictures from your travels there with Bishop Shaw. I thought that was a lot of fun that you had going on there. Hope you enjoyed your trip and that you're ready to get back into action and maybe put some more gold around your waist not too far down the road. So, but going on back to that tag match, Papa Smokes. Again, it was nice because again, both teams put on a great showing here. Got to get a nice introduction to Wild Hunt. We've seen Sigma Collective coming together very nicely together, and in this matchup, they worked very well together in tandem in order to get that victory. Jack Maximum picks up the pinfall victory for his team, and the Sigma Collective looking awesome at this point.
Yeah, very much so. And they've got to be contenders for the tag team title as much as anybody is in this company. The Wild Hunt I like that name, by the way, the Wild Hunt. That has a very mythological connotation to it as well. Very cool. But Connor King and Jordan Macallan just not looking like they're quite the seasoned tag team to be in that top spot quite yet. But with Sigma Collective coming out and doing a whole lot of muscle posing, these young baby faces able to get some offense in right off the bat, and they got some nice spots in. But of course, Maximum and Peter Prince being quite big, strong guys, they're just going to use that power to come back in this match. They take over the offense in this match with a lot more muscle posing going on in this too, which could have worked to their disadvantage, but absolutely didn't. The babyfaces got a hot tag and went on a little run towards the 8-minute mark of this match, but not enough, just not experienced enough, don't have the swag to pull this off. Jack Maximum, the big boy, hits a nice running power slam, gets the 1, 2, 3. So Sigma Collective, Joseph Cruz notwithstanding, the core of the Sigma Collective, Maximum and Prince, standing strong in this one, looking tough and looking like they could be in the position to demand a tag team title shot against SAS. Not sure how that'll work with two heel tag teams, but I think they'll go for it if they can get a title shot.
Gold to gold, Papa Smokes. There's no friends when it comes to that. We got Lele Does Gaming saying no one could stop Jay. We are going to be talking about that in just a few minutes, and you might damn well be right, actually, when it comes down to it. That coming up very soon. But the next match on this card, we got Zac Kelly taking on Pariah, and this is probably the most competitive match that I've seen Pariah in to date so far. Yet this is becoming a little bit of a formula to this. It is people being sent out right now to make Pariah look like the monster. And he is a monster. He's a big man. He looks evil. The gimmick is vicious. They're building him to something for sure, Pop Smokes. You don't feed him this many opponents in this kind of fashion like they have been without an end game. And I believe that there's definitely an end game that sees Pariah in the hunt for some gold coming up here very soon, and in some maybe very violent or brutal matchups with some of the top talent in IPW. But this match served what it needed to serve. It got the back out there. It continues Pariah looking strong in the company and breaks up things a little bit before we get to the main event here.
For sure. And Zac Kelly, the Kiwi punk, as he's known, comes out to a nice ovation. He looks like he doesn't have a whole ton of matches under his belt, but he's got Pariah in this one. Pariah coming out on the leash with the face mask and everything. He's obviously evil and insane. Dr. Adams barely has control over him. Once he takes the leash off Pariah, Pariah goes absolutely maniacally insane, goes nuts on Zac Kelly. Kelly still didn't get squashed.
Nope. Oh.
This and got some of his stuff in, but he missed the top rope attack, landed kind of awkwardly. I was hoping he was okay. Then Pariah hits that black hole slam. 1, 2, 3, the pinfall. We're in and out of this match in 5 minutes. And like you said, they're building Pariah up, giving him a monster-style push, kind of like what we've saw with Jayrilla in the past. But Pariah looking completely destructive and unbeatable at this point. Although, like you said, this was maybe the most we've seen him take some offense from somebody else. But at the same time, he goes over very, very strong. So let's look to the future for Pariah. He's got to get some better competition. Maybe he's going to move up the card, I should say, to more experienced and tougher.
Exactly. Well, keep having a couple times you keep cutting out audio wise there, Papa Smokes. Those storms aren't doing us any favors, I don't think.
Yeah, maybe not. It's okay. Well, I'm done with this match, so we can move on from here.
For sure, yeah. Well, your audio's back now, so we should be good. Our second last match of the evening, we've got our good friend Jake Sheehan taking on Tyler Ernst. And we know Tyler Ernst out there representing church and state. We know Sheehan has had his issues with Sir Mr. Burns as of late. And of course, that frustration gets taken out immensely on Tyler Ernst in this matchup. You can tell this is the great thing is Sheehan does a great job of selling when he has a frustration with a group, with a particular person, where someone he doesn't pussyfoot around it. When he gets in there, it is down to business. No, this guy is representing a guy who I hate. Let's go smash his mouth in. I love that smash mouth attitude that Sheehan brings to the ring, brought into this matchup, and it's what excels him to the top. He gets the victory here, looking awesome against Tyler Ernst, and knowing that he's going to go back after everybody else, including Sir Mr. Burns. He has got revenge on his mind, and you can tell, and he showed it in this matchup.
For sure. And they got to the point fairly quickly in this one. I love Jake Sheehan as a guy, and I like his presentation a whole bunch. He looks good. He's got great babyface energy, good-looking young guy, some cool tattoos and all the rest of it. Tyler Ernst, I had question marks in my mind about him because mostly, at least since we've been watching IPW, he's been kind of the lackey in the young Nats. He's been the manager kind of. You can see he's physically gifted. He's a tall, good-sized guy. But I'm always questionable about managers or people that are in the manager's position having matches. He's wrestling in his manager's outfit, the dress pants and dress shirt and tie and such. Yeah, I never really expect a great match out of wrestlers in that position. However, I was pleasantly surprised by Tyler Ernst. He actually looked really good in this match, I thought. He controlled a lot of this match on offense. He's gifted. He shows a ton of potential. He has a bunch of good moves, and he performed these immaculately. No mistakes. That's always important. I love the way he got some heat with the crowd chanting Burnsy's bitch over and over again. Thought that was quite hilarious. You could see Tyler didn't like that at all. And but Sheehan with the babyface energy really came on strong in this match. Takes over, hits two big Alabama slams, which weren't easy on Tyler Ernst. With the height difference and the weight difference in this, you could see Sheehan really had to work to hit his finisher not only once but twice. But man, that's a crushing move. So two of them. Tyler Ernst goes down. The Young Nats suffer a loss here, but Jake Sheehan gets a big win, gets a nice win over his rivals in the Young Nats, and Sheehan looking good also for maybe getting into that title picture, moving up the card a little bit. We've seen him at the top of the card before, but it looks like he's going to be back in that spot soon.
He's got his eyes on the prize, that's for damn sure. But speaking of that prize, Papa Smokes, it's time to talk about it. It's our main event of the evening. This match scheduled for one fall.
One fall.
And it is for the IPW New Zealand Heavyweight Championship. Yes, it is the Great Ape, the Jayrilla, our good buddy, the champion, defending against Xander Taylor, who we have talked very positively about seeing him debut in IPW. Was really excited to watch this matchup and how it play out. Xander is a big old boy himself too. So when we've seen opponents get in there with the Great Ape, there is that big size difference a lot of the time that they give up to the Great Ape. And yeah, Xander Taylor is not quite as thick as what Jayrilla is, but he has got some height, and he is quite a thick boy himself too. So when they were throwing down in this matchup, it was very believable to have Xander Taylor in the positions he was at time, where he was taking Jayrilla almost off his feet, even though they kept saying that Jayrilla has not been taken off his feet, but he had him on wobbly legs. He had him at times in a position where you could believe that with more time and experience, Xander Taylor will be that guy. He will be the next big guy, and he might be the one in a year or two that is able to stop somebody like Jayrilla. But at the moment, I don't believe, and we're going to talk about the aftermath here too, but I want your initial thoughts on the match itself, Papa Spokes. Even with everything that plays out, it's hard to believe right now that anybody can derail Jayrilla. But I want your thoughts on the match before we get to the afterthoughts.
Yeah, well, the push that's been for Jayrilla all through last year, and then up to him winning the championship, and then his championship defenses has really been a big one. No one's really been able to get much on Jayrilla for good reason. He's huge, he's intense, he's so strong, and very good talker and a nice guy, as we noticed. Former guest of Ring Respect Radio, of course. Go back and check that interview out, because very interesting person with a cool perspective on pro wrestling. But at any rate, Xander Taylor, yeah, you said, and I agree with that, you and I were both impressed by this young wrestler. He's come out with some size, with some intensity, and this has got to be probably the biggest match that he's had in his career, possibly the first title match or main event match. I don't know exactly, but the IPW have put him into this match. They trust him. They have faith in him, and they want to build him for the future. So here we go. Jayrilla versus Xander Taylor. We're only going to go about 9 minutes in this match, if even. But we've seen before that Xander Taylor has been in Jayrilla's business. This is talked about by the commentators as a little bit of a grudge match. Taylor shows no fear in this. Gets right in the face of Jayrilla, the unbeatable Great Ape, right off the bat, and just starts feeding him forearms to the face. Like this attitude. A lot of wrestlers have come into matches against Jayrilla showing fear and trepidation, but Xander Taylor gets in there and just starts chucking bombs into the Great Ape's face. Now goes to pick him up. He's fully going to try and body slam this got to be 380 to 400 pound wrestler. Doesn't get him all the way over, but gets him off his feet. And that got the crowd excited, because, my God, Nobody's managed that feat yet. Taylor also with some good offense and some smart strategy in this match, using a rear headlock and a sleeper hold to try and wear down the larger man. Good stuff, good stuff. But ultimately, his lack of experience and big match experience, not enough to get the win in this. Nobody really expected him to. Jayrilla hitting the hollow earth and getting that pinfall. And it doesn't take much for Jay to get that pin. It's that huge move, that kind of spinning black hole slam known as the hollow earth, gets the job done on Xander Taylor. So we've got a successful title defense for Jayrilla, but we have some aftermath, as you were alluding to, Bunsen.
We do, and a lot of it, in fact, Bob Spokes. Let's start with the immediate. James Shaw, our good friend of the chat there, good friend of the channel, appears at the top of the ramp, distracts Jayrilla, and they're calling him down. Like, let's get this fight on. Let's do it already. They've been alluding to the idea that this fight's going to happen. We know at least it's going to happen by the next card, but Shaw just staring down the Great Ape who's standing in the ring as the champion. While the distraction is happening, Xander Taylor turns the Great Ape around and slams that big-ass man into the mat to the tune of holy shit from the crowd. Before we take it to the next thing that happens, Papa Spokes, how was that moment for you seeing young Xander Taylor pick up the Great Ape and slam him?
Awesome moment. And I think it was cleverly done also that it was after the match had finished, but Xander Taylor showing that he's up for the challenge and gets the huge man up. Not Lex Luger on Yokozuna where he just barely kind of turns him over and slams him, but gets him up, turns him, and slams him hard. And it was important that Xander get a good hard body slam in here, because this is setting up the next part of this segment, is that Jayrilla, you could believe that he was surprised and disoriented by being body slammed like that. He's probably never been body slammed before in his life. And this hurt and disoriented Jayrilla for a number of minutes. And as we would see, we have two top contenders to Jayrilla's IPW championship, one being James Shaw sitting at the commentary table, and the other one with that contract that he earned in a previous match comes out. It's Sir Mr. Burns, the heel we all hate to hate. I want to say love to hate, but even as a fan, Mr. Burns drives me crazy as a heel. I can't stand him. He's so intensely unlikable, but you can't deny his power in IPW. Comes out with those diaper-looking trunks over top of his singlet and that little strut and that little walk. Oh yeah, he's cashing in that contract. He wants his match to start against Jayrilla now. Very, very smart to get the big man when he's already hurt and already on his back. And much happens after this month, and you want to go through. There's a little mini match between Sir Mr. Burns and Jayrilla.
That's right. So the Eliminator contract cashed in. A match now commences. Sir Mr. Burns versus Jayrilla for the title. It is on. And as we're going through this, Burns not able to quite get the 3 count on Jayrilla as he's down, but Jay is looking pretty hurt. That slam took a lot out of him. That was a couple of big meaty men in the face of that slam. But of course, Mr. Burns has got tricks up his sleeve. Of course he does. Sir Mr. Burns ain't gonna come into this matchup without those defensive tactics that make him wrestling's most defensive wrestler of all time. So he has got the nightstick that comes out in this matchup here. Going to use that on Jayrilla, uses it, but then that is then stopped. It doesn't go any further because, of course, Jake Sheehan is going to come out. He's going to make sure that no more shenanigans happen in this matchup. He takes away said nightstick from Sir Mr. Burns and takes it away, making this a one-on-one. That is where Jayrilla is able to get his head back in the game, get back into this, and he takes out Sir Mr. Burns, beating 2 opponents in the same night and proving once again that even with beating him with a nightstick, hitting him with power slams, and whatever you do, can anyone stop the Great Ape Jayrilla? He is still the champion, and now he is looking down the face of the Divine Light, the historical five-time IPW New Zealand champion, the Divine Light James Shaw, coming up at the next card. Man, they have built this thing up to be something super special. And of course, we've seen how good James looked earlier in the night. This match is going to be awesome between the Great Ape and the Divine Light.
I think so too. And the match, or should I say the two small matches that Jayrilla had tonight, are important in the development of this whole scenario as well, because this is the most human we've seen Jayrilla look so far. We have seen him take almost no offense from anybody else up to this point. But in this match, including with Xander Taylor, but especially with Sir Mr. Burns afterwards, we see the human side of the Great Ape. We see that he can be hurt, and it looked at various points like Sir Mr. Burns might just get that pinfall through cheating, through using foreign objects, through making pin attempts with his feet on the ropes. But Jayrilla just managing to squeak out of this situation. But it makes it more interesting because Jayrilla, for all his dominance so far, looks like he maybe could be beaten. So we're going to see if anyone can do it. I would say it's James Shaw, and we've got a big clash on the horizon between these two. Perhaps it's already happened, but we haven't seen this card yet, and for sure we'll get there. I'm excited to see this, just as I'm sure all the New Zealand fans are as well.
I'm sure they loved it when it did happen. I can confirm it did happen. We are waiting on that card to be released over on YouTube so that we can catch up on it as well too, Pop Spokes, and see that particular match. I know James sent me a clip from a piece of that match back after it happened earlier on in the year, and it is something else. We are going to be treated to something quite delightful here, Pop Spokes. Can't wait for that to happen. But in the meantime and in between time, we've filled the people with lots of indie wrestling knowledge here tonight. Go check out our friends at IPW New Zealand. They put on a fantastic show. Support New Zealand professional wrestling, but support indie pro wrestling. And support Papa Smokes. His beautiful ticker is up on the screen. He's going to tell you where you can find him and what he's up to next.
All right, everybody. Every Thursday night, I am on OLE Podcasts and the Video Bros Network doing Ring Respect Radio, the very show you're watching right now. Other than that, Papa Smokes can be reached on Elon Musk's free speech wonderland known as X. I am at Smokes_Papa, and also on Twitch. If you can find me, it's at Papa_Smokes_.
That's where you'll find Papa Smokes. As for myself, Bobby Munson, the socials are on the ticker down below. You can also check me out here on the channel this coming Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern time with Andre, as we are talking about the weekend sports on Point of View. We're going to be talking more about the World Cup, find out where our predictions have landed as we are coming into the final week of the World Cup. Thank you, Mangler, for being here as always and supporting. Really appreciate you, my friend. But yes, that can be seen 11 a.m. Eastern time here on the channel. You could also go on over to the Prairie Pro Wrestling channel, where you could join myself and Papa Smokes as your commentary team every Saturday afternoon with a new match from Prairie Pro Wrestling, including a big one, Papa Smokes. This Saturday, tag team titles are on the line. The unbeaten tag champs, the Short Kings, are going up against the Dixie Dragon and Bucky McGraw of the Brotherhood. Can't wait for that one to come out. Can't wait for you around the world to see it. Go support Prairie Pro Wrestling and come check us out this Saturday at the Saskatoon Berries game as well. If you like our show and you want to check out some other great shows here on the channel from some great content creators, you can do so. This is OLE Podcast. Check us out on all social media, as well as YouTube and Twitch, where we are partners. Twitch means you can go ahead, give us one of your Twitch, your Prime subs. You can give us a regular sub, all the bits and stuff like that. That helps to keep things rolling on that side. But over on the YouTube side, many ways that you can help support us. You can always go ahead and click the subscribe button down below. Turn on notifications so you know when new content comes out here on the channel. And leave us a comment in the comment section below. Thumbs up the video as well while you're at it. If you want to take it one step further, when you're watching live shows just like this one, you could give us super chats, super stickers, those kinds of things. Donate to the channel and help us keep these shows running. But we want to take one step a step further than that. We're going to take it to a step that you can do, and it's absolutely free. Doesn't cost you a dime. You just got to wait for about 24 hours for this video to process and be properly on the channel. Once you do, you pick up your mobile phone and you find Ring Respect Radio or any of your favorite content here on OLE Podcast, and you find your hype points. You get 3 hype points that you can give out per week to your favorite content creators, and we would be blessed if you shared all of those right here on OLE Podcast, and in particular, if one of them went to Papa Smokes and I here on Ring Respect Radio. The more hype points we get, the higher up the hype ladder we get, and the more views we have in here, sharing with new friends that can come and join this community and join us on live on a Thursday night. That's going to be it for this week on Ring Respect Radio. We can't wait to be back next week with more indie wrestling action right here on the channel. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in a week's time. Take care, everyone.